Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to my channel on this very sunny but windy Friday lunchtime. And for your delectation today, we have Jimmy, and we've got Scott as well. Oh, he nearly forgot. Maybe he should have forgot.
That's for the shavings.
Right, put you guys back in the background. Let's bring up my YouTube chat because it's better than the StreamYard one. So what we're doing today, go to the overhead. Right, what I've got on the lathe today is a piece of very nicely spalted beech, quite punky as well in places. It's about 4.5 inches long by just over 3 wide, and we're going to turn a smallish box out of this today. So I'll get on and do some turning, and the guys can let me know what's happening out there in Chatland.
All right. You want to do it? Or do you want me to do it, Scott?
I can do it if you want. I'm at the top.
Yeah.
You can have the buttons ready then. So
All
we
right,
have
cool.
Mr. Ward Wilson.
Right,
We have
here we go.
This is whole other country.
we have Brian L. Yeah, I'm not even gonna muller that.
Brian
Brian with a Y.
Yeah, Brian with a Y then. Some fat bloke called the Blue Light Turner. Chris Dodds. Robert Hodgepodge. Paul Heaton. Laurie.
So be right.
Terry Bartlett. Adam I Love Woodturning. Jerry Johnson. Joey! That's Steel Blade Woodworks. I was about to say Jerry Johnson sounds like a new name.
Yeah, that certainly sounds like a new name.
And that's it at the minute.
Chris.
At the moment we have 20 wonderful people. Mailman himself, Mr. Martin Brees.
How you doing, mailman? I tell you what, it is a shame. It's a shame that Wendy's working at the moment.
Steve from SK Crafts is in.
Hey, Steve.
Hello,
Hello,
everyone.
Steve.
Just a quick hello while I have a quick coffee. Are you allowed coffee, Steve? Amy's out there.
Amy D's. Angelus. Get him.
See you, Steve. Just to remind everyone that pinned to the top of the chat is the link to the GoFundMe page for the Makers Auction and Raffle that's taking place on the 21st of October.
That's what I'm talking about.
Leroy 500's in.
How you doing?
This piece of wood is that punky. I'm not very sure if this tenon's going to hold.
Yeah, it will.
Because it's all
I'm not being
up.
funny, Wayne. Look at that bit of wood you was telling the other day, and you worried about that little bit of wood.
Yeah,
but that one I turned the other day fell apart.
You're not meant to tell them that.
No one needs that. You know, it's an inside thingy. Alex Wood and Things in.
It was a successful live.
I didn't speak to you, Alexa. Right. Just shut up.
Gosh, dang it!
So it holds better in the chuck. Right, let's get this turned around so we can start getting some shape into it.
All right.
Wesley Hannah is in.
Hey, Wes.
Lucky Wendy is at work today.
You never know.
You like popsicles? You need to come on down to the cellar. I got a whole freezer full of popsicles. Don't make me beg now.
Go back to your own channel.
That's brilliant. Right, that's gone off a wee bit. I'll just get it around it again.
Amy says, "I'm hoping you got a bicky with your coffee, Steve." Ah, if he has, what would his choice of bicky be? If you did have a biscuit with your coffee, Steve, what one would you have, mate? In actual fact, what would everyone's choice of bicky be?
I got bourbons today.
Chocolate
I don't
hobnob.
know. Do you know what? I don't know what they're called, but they sell them in like Poundland and Aldi's and things like that. They're like two biscuits, and they've got like a chocolate filling in between them, and they're
Is
really
that
nice.
the
They're like,
breakfast? Is that the breakfast biscuits?
Are they like
I
they
know,
come in a weird tube, didn't they, Jamie? It's like
yeah, like a weird
corrugated.
cardboard tube, yeah.
Yeah. Steve says a chocolate hobnob.
Yep, that's it. That's the one.
Chris Dodd says, Scott, we call that stalking here. Who else has just come in? I just saw another name. Lisa at the Ugly Room Crafting.
How you doing, Lisa? Is this going to be like is it Japanese style lid?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah. Except obviously this one's not a square edge one. I sometimes do the square edge one.
Yeah. Yes, Chris, moving cookie, just for you and every other American in the chat. A biscuit is cookie.
I thought a cookie was a cookie.
Because a biscuit is also what the States call a biscuit is like what we call a scone or a scone.
Hello, babe. Mark Stroughton's in.
Hello, babe.
I haven't decided yet. I might do some carving on this. I was thinking about using the Dremel just to highlight all of the spalted bits.
Ooh. I think you're starting to show off a bit now.
So 31 people watching. To my recollection, that means 22 people have got the opportunity to do what's free and smash that thumbs up button. Question there for you, Jamie.
Jamie, if a cookie is a biscuit, what name do you have for biscuits? Biscuits.
Right, what we call, or what the Americans call a biscuit, we tend to call a scone or a scoon, or however people want to
Scone
pronounce
or
it.
a scone, yeah.
Scone, yeah.
So Chris has got a question.
Yeah.
She says, is punky wood not food safe? Isn't it a type of mould?
Yes, it is a type of mold. And no, it probably isn't food safe, but if you get a good finish on there, the likes of maybe a polyurethane finish, it probably could be used for food. But certainly in the UK, unless it's certified as being food safe, it's basically not.
Mm-hmm. One of the gentleman Woodturner's favourite finishes is the CA finish.
Pat Cummins is in.
I'll just get a tenon on this.
Chris Dodd says, it's called a doorstop if you cook it too long.
Yeah, ain't they just? Chris Schwinn says, question. Is poly food safe? Not if she doesn't like you.
I've got no idea. Tell you, if I'm doing something that I'm wanting to use for food use, I will either use chestnuts food safe finish, or I'll use something like this, which is worktop oil, antibacterial worktop oil.
Some of the Hampshire Sheen ranges now food safe, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I mean,
Yeah,
a lot
it is,
of Martin's stuff is certified as being food safe. So
Yeah. You can eat a
food
lot
and
of food then.
food and toy safe.
Yeah.
So Benjamin's joined. John Hayes has joined.
How you doing?
Steve S. Case's Danish oils food safe.
Yeah. Martin Smith sells a food safe Danish oil.
I'm sure his microcrystalline wax is food safe as well, isn't it?
I think it is, yeah. Because I've actually got some of that. But
I
then
have,
again,
but
so
not
is
here,
the
down
chestnut one as well. I'm looking at it now.
And of course, Vicky's favourite oil.
Is that food safe?
Yeah, I'm sure the lemon oil's food safe.
No, it isn't.
It doesn't see. It doesn't actually say it on here whether it is or not. Danger: flammable liquid and vapor. May be fatal if swallowed and enters the airways. May cause drowsiness or dizziness.
I thought Terry said it was.
No, it's not food safe. So, Vicky, if you're listening, keep putting it on your cereal.
No, I can't see anything on there to say it's
No, I
food safe.
can't.
Right, if you're in the UK, for any sort of finish, you should be able to get. I don't know if this is the same in the States, but certainly in the UK, if you're worried about any sort of finish, you can actually write to the company and ask for a safety leaflet, and they should be able to send you a safety leaflet.
I'll just play it safe and just get takeaway.
Well, you could always do what Ben says, you know? You can make your food safe, put the wooden bowl to one side and use a plastic one.
What kind of plastic?
Right. Put some sand and sealer on this.
Some plastics aren't food safe.
Now, should I do a bit of carving on this or should I not bother?
Yeah, go for it. We've got plenty of time.
Yeah.
Right.
John Hayes has got a question.
Go on, mate.
It says, maybe dumb question. When wood is kiln dried, does that process help being food safe?
I've got no idea. I've got no idea because I would think if there is any sort of bacteria on the wood, at the temperature that the wood is kiln dried at, that is going to be within the danger zone for bacteria, which is danger zone for bacteria is between 5 degrees centigrade and 64 degrees centigrade, I think it is. And it's within that range where bacteria will grow. And the main temperature for bacterial growth is around about body heat, which is about 37, I think it is. So kiln dried wood is going to be within that danger zone. So it's actually going to promote bacterial growth rather than kill off bacteria. There you go. It's amazing.
Leroy
go on.
500 has got a question. He says, my current lathe has inch by 8 TPI. My new lathe will have 1.25 TPI by 8. Can I use adapters or should I purchase a new Axminster chucks? I would say get new chucks if you can afford it.
See, the thing is that you haven't got much of a difference between the 1.8 and 1.25 by 8. Mind you, that an adapter should do.
It would definitely do, but if you can afford it, I would because of the vibrations.
The only thing is with having the adapter, instead of the chuck being right onto the headstock like mine is here, it's actually going to stick out where the adapter is. So you're going to have the adapter sticking out from the headstock, then the chuck on top of that. And the farther away the chuck is from the headstock, the more vibration it's going to produce.
Wood Wizardry by Colin has joined, Billy Brown, and Barry's Wood Creations. Loads of people coming in. Nice to see.
I'm just going to try, in fact, what I'll do a little bit down here, just to see where it's going to go like.
Good call.
It's not really going to produce very much of an effect, that, so I'm not going to bother. So I'll carry on doing what I was doing. I'm not bothered.
Bad idea, Scott.
I don't mind. I'm not supported by Dremel. I'll just buy Dremels from Amazon and get US chargers.
That's not a good idea.
John Hayes is saying, are you going to add a finial to this one?
No, that is the lid. Oh.
Hoshua says, what was that you sprayed there?
That was acrylic sand and sealer. And I'm using acrylic sand and sealer because it was the closest one to hand. Give that Yorkshire grit a quick rub in. I'm probably going too fast for the first stage of this, but it still works.
We can actually put this up now, look.
There you go.
Ooh.
And I'm using microcrystalline wax as the finish.
Amy's got a question. She says, I'm pretty sure I asked this ages ago, but why sand and sealer before Yorkshire grit?
Right. Why sand and sealer before Yorkshire grit? Yorkshire grit is made up of mineral oil, I think lemon oil as well, beeswax, and the abrasive, which is rotten stone. And if you apply it straight to the wood without sealing the wood, the oil and the wax within the Yorkshire grit is going to soak straight into the wood rather than do its job, which is to lubricate the abrasive. By putting the sand and sealer on, you're actually putting a coating over the top of the wood so the abrasive can get lubricated and do its job. If you happen to forget to put the sand and sealer on, it's not really a problem. It just means you've got to apply a second coat over the top of the first coat.
There you go. Holdford says, are you planning to hollow out the lid of the box, or did I miss that part?
No, I'm not. If I was planning on hollowing out the lid of the box, I would have left a tenon on this end so I could actually flip it round and hollow out. All I'm going to do with this is part it off. Mind you, with the state of the wood, I probably should have left a tenon on that end to hollow it out, because this parting off is going to be pretty punky on the bottom, but it can be sanded off later. Just make another
Amy
cut
says,
in
right on, Wayne. Makes sense. Thanks.
How much longer your mum and dad got out there, Jamie?
They come back in about 10 days, I think.
Right, I don't know if you can see that or not, but this area here, this is all the punky wood, and that hasn't got a very good finish on it at all off the parting tool. Whereas this area here, This is all the solid good wood. So, and that's actually parted off quite nice. This is going to need a fair amount of sanding. Not during this live, but it's going to need a fair amount of sanding to get rid of all that punky area.
I guess you could put it in a jam truck if you really needed to.
Well, I could do. Right, let's get on and do the shape of the actual box now.
Hodgepodge, there's been one, mate. Still got to come down and get his pies.
Yes, I have. Still need to sort out your light switch as well, don't we, mate?
Yeah.
The other thing you can actually do with spalted wood that's gone very punky is give it a couple of few coatings of either sand and sealer will work, but it doesn't work as well as wood hardener.
Mm-hmm. Christos says, JP, they've been here long enough to get an Aussie accent. You're not wrong there. My dad called me the other day and he done nothing but swear at me.
Your dad always swears at you.
I know. He's always had an Aussie accent. In actual fact, I think it's been requested that my dad comes on to one of my Patreons one day as a guest.
That'd be cool.
Amy says, "You flaming galah, JP." That's that Aaron always reminds me of Alf Stewart from Home and Away. My mum used to watch that all the time. I don't even know if it's still on anymore.
Yeah, I think it is. Home and Aways, yeah.
Yeah, they've been neighbours, didn't they?
Yeah. Dr. Bob says, I've got my morning cake, donuts, and a good large cup of dark coffee. Good boy.
Steve says, right, guys, got to go back. Have a great days.
Take it easy, Steve.
Steve's having a wonderful day today, putting door handles on, I think.
Handles and locks, isn't he?
Wonder if he can handle it.
Yeah, he hung the doors yesterday, so he's putting the door handles on today.
Joe's in, and Brian.
Hey, Joe.
How you doing?
Brian says, sorry I'm a bit late. I've been on a road trip to a closed shop.
Right. See what sort of size
Home
that
and
is.
Away still on. Blimey.
Yeah, Channel 5. I'm sure it's on Channel 5.
Is Irene still in it?
I've got no idea.
They still got the big house with like the caravan park and stuff.
That was it. That was always the main house, wasn't it?
Yeah.
With Pippa and Sally.
Yep. I remember staying at my nan's. It used to be home and away at 5:30, and then followed by neighbours at 6 o'clock. Weren't allowed to speak for an hour in that house then.
Yeah. Do you still remember the theme tune? It would sound like You and I Belong Together or something.
Yeah.
What's that other one like? Not too far away.
Yeah, she sure is. Alf in the caravan park.
How's Elf still there? He was old when I watched it when I was a kid.
I know, right?
It's been like cryogenically frozen or something.
Oh, what was that other guy's name? The head teacher, Fisher. Was that right? Because I remember there was a thing that they kept calling him Flathead. How on earth did we get to start talking about Home and Away?
We need to get out more, Jamie.
I know, right?
Definitely.
Be talking about EastEnders next.
Oh no, I won't.
Oh no, he won't.
Vicky used to love watching that EastEnders until I convinced her that it was rubbish.
And the Yorkshire Kitten himself is in. Oh,
Hey,
Hey,
Glenn.
Glenn.
I just need a little bit more of that.
Benjamin says, speaking of documentaries, I've been watching the new Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, so far.
never seen it.
I've never been a fan of that sort of thing, or Harry Potter.
I'll tolerate watching Harry Potter, but
I think I got halfway through the first one. I was like, yeah, not for me. Andrew from AGK Woodworks is in there. Speaking of Lord of the Rings,
The Hobbit. John Hayes has got a question. He says, I have a wooden bowl. I put chicken noodle soup in it, and ever since I can't get the smell out of it. What can be done to fix it? Refinishing the wood? Question mark.
I would, yeah, I'd certainly go for that. Doing a refinish on it.
Glyn says this retirement lark's a bit different.
I can imagine, mate.
How much have you been out on the bike, Glyn, since you retired? Jennifer's in.
Hey, Jennifer.
My parents, when they got retired, they went on a holiday to Australia, Glenn. I'm sure Joe wouldn't mind that.
That's grand. Right, get the rest of it hollowed out now.
Oh, Dr. Bob, what have you done?
What's he done?
He says, I keep hearing you guys talking about TV shows, so I decided to subscribe to the BBC America app. That way I can see what you're all talking about. To my luck, I also get Doctor Who.
Never been a fan of Doctor Who.
It was right on
Mind you,
Billy Piper.
I was always put off of it by my dad. My dad hated it. I think he's my old man used to get nightmares because of the old what are they called?
Daleks.
Daleks. My old man got nightmares about when he was a kid, so he always put me off of it. And I got round watching it once, and I was like, not really my kind of thing anyway.
It was all right when Billy Piper was in it.
See how deep I've gone there?
Real deep.
I had a bloody depth gauge sitting around here.
Benjamin says Doctor Who is for children. Runs away. So are Happy Meals, Ben. So are Happy Meals.
Yeah, but they're bringing out an adult Happy Meal now, aren't they?
I've heard about that.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not sure what the adult toy's going to be. Lisa at the Ugly Rooms Crafting says, we love Doctor Who. We name all our critters after his companions. William Kenny's in.
Hey, William.
How you doing?
Right.
Dalek in the shower. Exfoliate, exfoliate.
John Hayes.
John Hayes. Go on, mate.
Go on, Jack. No, you do it.
John Hayes has got a question, Wayne.
Yeah.
Who was your inspiration for wood turning?
Oh, the couple of guys.
Don't say Jesus.
One of them was a guy called Jamie Walwyn. He was one of the partners at the original Craft Supplies down in Millersdale, in not far from Buxton in Derbyshire. He was the first guy I had wood turning lessons from. And another one was a guy from Cumbria, Maurice Mullins, who is sadly no longer with us. I spent a few days with him as well, back in the early 90s, that was. When it comes to boxes, I don't think you can go much farther than a guy called Chris Stott. I think you can still get books by him for doing boxes. I don't know if you can get DVDs. You can certainly get videos. But there's that many out there now. That's a huge inspiration. Pat Carroll, for some of the hollow forms and piercing and burning work that he does on the piercing, the work he does is just amazing. Gary Lowe with his colouring and hollow forms, Mick Hanbury with his colouring, Stuart Farini. Just there's loads out there. There really are.
Some of Helen Bailey's piercings are awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, Helen is a fantastic turner as well. She's absolutely brilliant. She is. If you want to talk about big stuff, really big wood turning, sort of closed hollow form type things, you can't go much further than the Multhrop family from over in America. They've been on the go for a hell of a lot of years. They used to do certainly some really, really big hollow forms. Right, let's give this a bit of a sand.
Benjamin says, thoroughly recommend watching Ray Key's 3 boxes on YouTube. What's
Yeah,
your
really.
conclusion?
The thing that now don't get me wrong, Reiki was an absolutely fabulous turner, really, really good. I don't think he presents very well, or he didn't present very well. But he is a fantastic turner. If you're looking at spirals, I'm forgetting his bloody name now. Oh God, good friend of Ruby. Mark the Gentleman Wood Turner was at his place having a few lessons the other week. Oh, Stuart Mortimer. He does some absolutely brilliant work with hollow forms with open spirals.
I'll tell you someone else in the community that needs plugging for some of their work, which is absolutely phenomenal, is Yuval.
Yeah, Yuval's
a name we haven't heard for a while.
He hasn't certainly put much turning stuff out for a while. But yeah, his work is very, very good as well.
Yeah.
Right, this is probably going to be a fairly short video. This is.
It's all right. You could always put something else on the lathe.
No, still needs a bit of sand in there. What's this? 120, 120. That's what I'm after.
Dr. Bob says Lowell Jameson from Michigan is one of my inspirations for his female human turned figures.
Yeah. I mean, there's loads from the States as well. If you can go back years and years and years, Al Sturt is a name that comes to mind. Jimmy Clues as well. He's a phenomenal turner, and he is now American.
Yeah.
Comes from the same neck of the woods as I do. Jimmy Clues does.
Oh, yeah.
I think this thing's going to fly off, you know, if I carry on much further. Oh, there's somebody again from the UK who is a big inspiration for, especially for his decorated natural edge goblet forms, is Stephen Madden, the wood dude.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
I mean, his work is absolutely amazing.
John Hayes says I like Cindy Droser's amazing work.
Yeah, especially when it comes to her like boxes
Finials.
and finials and things like that.
You've got Rebecca de Groot as well for her spiders and all that kind of
Oh
stuff.
yeah,
She does.
the offset legs and things that she does on her spiders, and that was so spiders and teapots.
Mm.
Les Vaughan's got a good box DVD up.
Cole Jacobson's a good juggler.
He's got nice hair.
He's got nice hair.
And he knows how to sing Gilligan's Island, doesn't he?
And barely.
Right, let's get this off.
Anita Curler is in the chat.
Hi, Anita.
Hi, Anita.
There we go. Excuse us, I'll just to take the nubbity nub off the bottom. See if I can line the grain up.
Donna Love Angel's in.
Hello, Donna.
Hey, Donna. That's it. Just move this stuff out the way and then I'll change the camera. There we go. So there you have it. Just a nice little box. There, you can see it better there. I've got the
Nice.
grain lined up. Oh, wrong way. That way. That's better. Nice little piece of spalted beech. What sort of size is it to end up? Right. It's ended up 3-inch tall by around about 2 3/4 diameter. So there we go. Yeah, we are having an early one today. Unless people want to ask questions, I'll bring the guys back in. There they are.
That's a stern look on your face, Jamie.
Right. Let's take this bloody thing off. I'm sweating cobs in here. I thought it was going to be cold. I put the fire on.
Yeah, it's not that cold in here today. To be honest with you, I haven't had to put the heating on.
Well, we are just sitting here, guys. Up at the top of the chat is the link to the
fundraiser for Maker's
fundraiser
Auction.
for Maker's Auction.
What is the least used item on my bench? If you're talking about wood turning tools,
Probably the Dremel. It's not come out of the box yet.
well, the Dremel hasn't come out of the box yet. Well, it's been out of the box and I've turned it on, but I would say the stuff on that top shelf up there, the scrapers, I don't tend to use them very much at all. I'm going to have to get some new racks up for tools because I've got. I'm going to pick up a whole load of wood turning tools on Tuesday and probably a couple of trailer loads of wood as well.
Nice. Where is it? Amy, what is on the cards for Scott? There'll be some more fun projects, but if you haven't, go over and check Wendy at Toonfish Crafts. I turn this little penguin egg with her, so that's going to be mounted in a bit of, I think it's red mallee burr that she gave me. So that's a project that's coming up. It's just finding time at the moment with work.
Woodwork learner, is it worth insulating the shed or does it cause condensation? I think it's well worth insulating the shed.
Yeah.
This is a block built garage, single skin block built garage with no insulation at all. Yes, it does get very warm when I've got the wood burner on, but it does get very, very cold. There's no insulation in the roof or anything, so all the heat just basically goes up and out. Right, I'll probably have an extra video coming out this weekend. Tomorrow I'm going to do a video of the unboxing of the Dremel 8260. So I'm going to get that videoed and edited tomorrow. So I might put that out as an extra after my live tomorrow night. And on Sunday night's premiere, it's probably going to be an unboxing of the Dremel Fortiflex.
Nice.
Okay. I've got these. I am now officially sponsored by Dremel. So you're going to be seeing a lot more Dremel stuff in the videos that I do. Ben, has Wayne always had a beard or is that a new thing? Oh God, when did I start growing a beard? That would have been around about 2000, I think. Yeah, probably 20 odd year I've had the beard.
Dr. says, why not insulate your ceiling?
Because I've got that much stuff up in the rafters in this workshop that it'd probably take us a week to get it all down again. And to tell you the truth, Bob, it's been like this since I had this built. God, when did I get this place built? It's got to be more than 20 years that I've had this workshop's been here. So I'll just live with it now. I'm too old to bother anymore.
There's a question there from John Haynes. Wayne,
Yeah.
do you have an idea which way the grain pattern's going through the wood to get the desired effect, like vertical line on the side?
Vertical lines on the side. I would say you've got to turn that end grain. Like this has been turned. So the grain on this basically runs that way. So you've got the end grain on, obviously on the end of the wood. That's why it's called end grain. And the grain actually runs like that. That's better. The grain runs like that through the wood. So you'll end up getting the vertical lines. As opposed to doing cross grain, which would be like for a bowl blank. Have I got a bowl blank knocking about? There's a bowl blank there. So on a bowl blank, you actually turn the bowl with the grain going across the wood that way. Okay, because it gives more strength when you're doing bowls to have them turned in side grain as opposed to end grain.
Chris Dodds, did Scott ever have hair? I did, and then I met these two, and that's when it fell out.
And Scott
Would
said
work
something
with
like that, and that's when he lost his tooth. Wayne punched him.
Woodwork Learner says, you're tough, Wayne. T-shirts in the snow. Yep. Yeah. Middle of December up here, that's just sunbathing weather, that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it gets really, really cold, I might have to put my big jumper on.
I tell you, my thermals are the first thing going in my suitcase for my trip up this week.
What the hell for? It's autumn. It's nowhere near winter.
Cold.
It's not cold at all.
It was cold last time I was up.
Dear me. See these wimps from down south. What's Chris Dodd's been saying?
Oh, that was about Scott's hair.
That me having
All
hair.
right.
I kept it longer than my brothers, so don't bother me.
Right, John Hazer said, doesn't matter which way when it's a crotch, grains can be going in different directions. Right. The thing with doing crotch, I'd still do a crotch in side grain. So imagine you've got the main branch coming up here, and then one branch goes off there, one branch goes off there. If I was doing bowls, I'd do it like that because you get a good effect of the grain pattern. If I was doing one of my
Yeah, I went.
egg,
Crotch.
no, I'll just explain another one
Alright.
with the piece I've got over here, which is going to get turned at some point.
I must get that lot in. That's getting wet.
If I can find where, oh, there it is. Right, so this is a fairly small piece of crotch. This is a piece of ivy, which was growing up and entangling a cherry tree that I cut down in the garden. So if I was turning the bowl out of this, I would turn it in side grain, so it would fix onto the lathe like this. So I'd be scooping out the bowl there. But I turn a lot of, out of something this size, a lot of egg shapes. So all this part in between the crotch sort of opens up. So I turn crotch pieces in both orientations, either end grain or side grain. Depends on what you're looking for out of the piece. Oh, hang on, I'll put me on big screen again just so I can show Gary because he's missed it. He's come in late again. There you go, Gary. That's what you missed. Right, Dr. Bob, for us, how about a tour of your outside and yard? Are you living in a hobbit hole? I live in a stone-built single-story cottage, which was built in around, I think it was around about 1849, 1850 it was built. 2-bedroom. We've got, oh God, what size is this plot? Probably just less than a quarter of an acre, I think it is. With obviously with the garage here. The main feature outside for me is the pizza oven.
Vesperonis.
So Gary's been busy out in the garage, finishing a wee clock he's been making. Yes, Robert. Built back during my midlife crisis, exactly. John here's a saying, you should detect the grounds. Funny story on that one. When we actually moved here, the place was overgrown and everything had been empty for a little while. Oh yeah, the water feature as well, Glenn. I'll get onto that in a minute. Jane started doing the garden and she dug down this one bit and hit something fairly solid. So we had to start using the fork instead of a spade to actually to dig it out. And you know, I don't know if you have them in other countries, but over here we used to have on the overhead electric lines these ceramic pot things that the wires went round. Thousands of the bastard things were found. Absolute thousands. And we're digging out the
electricity board.
Oh God! We're digging out the other side of the garden because we've got a slope down from the road into the garden. Digging out there, and we found a cooker in there. Loads of stuff we found here. Glenn's referring to the water feature. Since 2009, we've actually been flooded. Let's see, 2009, 2011, 2013, 2015. 2017. We've been flooded 5 times since 2009, which is a bit of a nightmare. And people turn around and say, why don't you sell the place? Well, if you could find me somebody who wants to buy a house that floods, point them in my direction.
Yeah, Scott's having fun.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, Donna's, I'm saying just up the road from me. She's about, 80, 90 mile away from where I live. Are you still using that cooker?
He's refurbished his house, is what he's found.
The ceramic pots are all sold in the sofa up now, aren't they, Wayne?
Yeah. Yeah, all of that's another thing. All of the furniture in our house and the sideboards and things like this and Jane's craft table and everything are all on 6-inch riser blocks for the next time we get flooded.
All the stuff that was in the garden was what washed away the first time. We just couldn't be asked to go and pick it up.
Right, I think that's about it. There's nothing else coming in. That was a bit of life history there, or a bit of my history there, I should say. Steve's on tonight, 7:45. Steve will be on. I think I don't think he's got any special guests on tonight. I think that's next week. So that's 7:45 tonight. Tomorrow will be Saturday morning cartoons, 4 p.m. UK time, 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern, and I'm not very sure about Amy's time.
About 1 o'clock, I think, or 2 o'clock, I think.
Yeah.
Like
It has the deepest we've had it in the house. Okay, it doesn't get chest high when it comes in the house, but the deepest we've had it in the house is around about 6-7 inches. We had a flood wall built, and the first time it flooded after we had the flood wall built, it went over the top of the flood wall, so we had to have another couple of levels put onto that. The flooding is caused. We are basically in a valley, Bob. We are where I live. Our house is 39 foot above sea level. The river Nith is around about 1.5 miles from us. But seeing as how we're in a valley, everything, all the water comes from the hills down into the river, plus the rain that's already coming down. Plus, when it gets to high tide, we're not actually far from the Solway Firth. So when it gets to high tide, that backs the river up as well. And it ends up coming across we've got a field out the back of us. It ends up filling the burn up at the end of that field. A burn is a stream, by the way. It fills the stream up. It comes across the field, comes in our garden. I mean, I've been in the water in our garden up to waist high, further down the garden. So you can tell how high it's got to actually come before it hits the house. 2000
Real deep.
deep. 2015, the village was cut off. You couldn't actually get into or out of the village. It was just totally surrounded by water. Chris, Jane has been on at me for years to build an ark. Absolute years. And I still haven't done it.
I know a guy.
I know a guy.
Has Morgan Freeman not been to visit you yet?
Oh, God. Right, I'm going to knock it on the head there.
All right.
My little mate the mouse has just gone across the floor.
Is that Mickey?
Right then. I am going to press the button. Thanks everybody for coming along, and thanks to Jamie and Scott for being my worms. And I will see you over the weekend at some point.